Hello, welcome Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 6 View from the Field. Let us continue our topic and overview of caste situation in different societies. The caste system in its traditional form have undergone tremendous change because of politicization. In the domain of politics, both caste and the kin seek to establish new identities and strive for inviolable positions. Politicians find caste grouping readily available for political mobilization. Kothari explains that traditionally there were two aspects of the secular organization of caste: the governmental aspect, which included caste councils, village arbitration procedures, and so on, and the political aspect, which included the intra-caste and inter-caste authorities and status alignments and cleavages. These were dispensed through authority relationships of the local elites and the central political system. In the present day, electoral and party politics assume tremendous importance. There is continuous co-option of more and more strata in political decision-making processes. In some regions, the Brahmins got involved readily. In others, particularly where the Brahmins were not dominant, certain agricultural upper caste got involved. According to the Dalits, the caste system was framed by the Aryans to subjugate them. They say that since the Aryans were few in number and needed to control the indigenous people, that is the Dalits, who were egalitarian, they devised the caste system. Various caste movements such as the Adi Dravid were led by this ideology. Dalit assert that their conversion to different religions, Islam, Sikhism and Christianity, introduced the element of caste in them too. Later the Dalit leaders mobilized the untouchables and Shudras under the banner of majority-minority communities. They argue that the Brahmins, Kshatriya and Vaishya constitute only 15% of the population, hence they are in minority compared to the Dalits, who constitute the remaining population. Now let us move to the next point: field-based studies. The field view of the caste comes out most clearly from studies at the grassroots by sociologists and social anthropologists. Further, in specific terms, the field view localizes our understanding of caste and makes the researcher aware about the historical forces operating in the particular village or region down the ages. The field view also equips the researchers to take into account the internal factions within the caste. A researcher can observe everyday interaction between the various castes in a village in economic, political and socio-religious spheres in a field situation, and then develop a holistic framework for exploring the social status and mobility of different castes. What follows now are specific field-based studies that bring to light the working of the caste system in the lives of people. Let us turn to a detailed study of some important aspects of field view with specific examples. Here we have tried to evaluate the analysis of caste undertaken by F.G. Bailey, Adering Mayer, McKim Marot, and O.M. Lynch. The contribution made by these authors is significant because their understanding of caste is based on the field view. This means that they have tried to look at the caste system in India in operational terms. Although scholars have closely observed and recorded the intra or intercaste interactions in the villages or regions of their studies and have discussed the implications of such an intercaste interaction for the ranking of caste in the hierarchy. Nevertheless, they vary in their emphasis and focus of study. Now let us move to the point Kishan Ghari village in Aligarh. In the village of Kishan located in Aligarh district, Uttar Pradesh, Makim Marot set out to study the nature of the social hierarchy. The village was one with people belonging to different castes, practicing different occupations. Interestingly, all the people did not give the same rank order to caste. Again, there was disparity between the rank ascribed to a caste in the scriptures and that ascribed to it by the people. What this means is that the caste did not seem to derive their position in the social hierarchy from the highness or lowness of their attributes. In fact, some of the attributes such as the diet and occupational restrictions were not determining factor in ascription of rank to a caste. This stood out in contrast to the emphasis on the two attributes in the text. He found that categorization of food into pakka and kacha and its acceptance from those equal in caste rank or refusal from those lower in caste rank was not a sufficient criteria of determining the position of a caste in the hierarchy. In the Kishangari village itself, the vegetarian caste such as washerman or dhobi and the non-vegetarian caste such as the leather workers or chamar occupied the same position in the caste hierarchy. Marriott found that in relation to the occupational hierarchy or ranking of caste on the basis of purity of occupations, the placement of caste did not follow from the highness and lowness of occupation. Thus, those castes that followed clean occupations were ranked differently. The carpenter was higher than the gardener, who was considered higher than the cultivator, and so on. The barber, shepherd, and several others were, however, placed on the same level of the local hierarchy. Other scholars note that the caste following clean and pure occupations and food habits are often ranked below those castes that follow the less pure or more polluting occupations. In a Mysore village studied by Srinivas, for example, there were both vegetarian and non-vegetarian caste, and the caste following both clean and unclean occupations. The trader's caste is vegetarian and follows a clean occupation as compared to other castes such as the peasants, but the peasants rank above the traders. This shows a discrepancy between the attributes of the caste and its rank. It is found that a caste may follow a pure occupation and be non-vegetarian, or follow an impure occupation and be vegetarian. Thus, the caste combine both the pure and impure attributes. In such a caste, determination of rank is not easy. A caste often consists of a mixture of attributes that are treated as pure and those that are treated as impure. Often a caste cannot be said to be completely pure or completely impure. Take, for instance, the caste case of Brahmins in different parts of the Indian subcontinent. According to the book view of the caste system, the Brahmins practice pure occupations such as the priesthood, observe purity of diet, that is strict vegetarianism, and teetotalism. And among other reasons, because of these attributes, they occupy the highest rank in the hierarchy. But when we talk the example of the Brahmins of Kashmir, Bengal and several other regions, we find that they are non-vegetarian, and in spite of such dietary habits, they continue to occupy important social positions in the caste hierarchy. The book view remains silent on the question of vegetarianism and the nature of occupation as being sufficient criteria for determining the position of a caste in the social hierarchy. Neither does it take note of the different permutations in which the attributes combine and recombine in actual lives. Just as Marriott found in his village study that the caste having the same attributes of diet and occupation often get ranked differently. F.G. Belay, in his study of village Bisipara in Orissa, points out how there are many castes in the village, each of which is non-vegetarian, yet is ranked differently by the villagers. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.